2 people are dead and 9 others are injured after a shooting yesterday at Brown University in Rhode Island.
Officials say the suspect is a male dressed in all black who left the scene on foot through a door on Hope Street. A shelter-in-place has been just lifted for the entire Brown campus, and the AP is reporting that a person of interest is in custody now.
Former ATF Special Agent Bernard Zapor joins us now. Bernard, thank you for getting up. What do you make of this situation? We're just getting this news that the shelter-in-place has been lifted. AP reporting someone's in custody, but clearly the police investigation is very active.
You know, it's an incredibly challenging tactical and investigative problem for all the law enforcement and community involved here, because essentially there's a lot of things that can't begin until the shooting stops. And until you have somebody in custody that you can confirm is the cause of this, the shooting hasn't stopped theoretically. And so their number one priority is to make sure that they're not going to have a re-engagement, that there are other participants in the shooting. And so, you know, a lot of resources that would be used investigatively are going to be committed to that. Resources have been coming in throughout the night. They're leaning into a lot of technology right now, both for finding the person responsible so they can ensure the safety of the community, and secondly, to get answers as to what's going on. And of course, all at the same time, the management of, you know, 10 plus people, critically injured, people fighting for their lives, the parents and friends and family that are coming into the area to be managed is all critically challenging, and number one priority. A lot of resources are going for this. They're getting answers. They have more than they can reveal right now, but it's progressing.
You know, it's interesting that there are that we don't have more video circulating right now, but obviously authorities picked out that one short clip of the man that they say is a person of, at least a person of interest, walking away. I assume that there's more to it than just what we're seeing right there that makes them think that that is the person of interest that they want to talk to.
Yeah, I'm confident they have much more video. Additionally, they will lean into things like AI and geo-tracking to get potential pathways, behaviors, and some confirmation as to if they're looking at different video evidence that shows it being the same person in the same locations. And they can tie rather quickly now, contemporarily, they can tie together events tied to victims and where shootings were, where other evidence was left, say like shell casings, to positions of video. And so it gives them a lot of information. Of course, it takes people and officers to respond to the things that are developing here, but they're working on it. You would have this broken down into components. The component is the search, and the component is the investigation. And the search component is also largely looking for, again, they have to determine is there more than one person? It's going to give them relief, because if they have somebody that's a person of interest that develops into being the person responsible, then, you know, they can let off the gas when it comes to this aspect of it and concentrate on investigation and crime management and victim management, because obviously you have a lockdown situation in the area, and then the broader community is at risk too if somebody's fleeing from committing such a horrendous act like this.
Bernard, we love having a special agent ATF person here, because you see things that we don't see. I see that footage and I see this young man walking rather calmly. It's kind of shocking to me. When you see that video, what do you see?
You know, you want to be reluctant on deriving, for example, motive and intent from such small partial pieces of potential evidence. But, you know, a lot of things, if you look at the Charlie Kirk assassination, for example, the video of the suspect that was walking with a limp and the things that were attributed to potentially that. But, you know, make no mistake, somebody that goes in and makes a decision to take human life on a mass scale or any scale is really operating without conscience. And so the normal things that we're expecting from a human being doesn't exist. That's why in contemporary active shooter training, we tell people, do not beg for your life. This person looks like a human being. They're not necessarily scary looking, but they are a robot. They have no conscience. They have no empathy. They don't care what your situation is. They're there to take life.
Yeah.
And so trying to attribute a human behavior in a video will usually not provide any picture as to what the intent or the person is. Because, you know, when you're encountering somebody that does this, they're soulless essentially at the time, and maybe beyond, something that in the human realm, we have a very difficult ability to relate to anybody that would do such a thing, regardless of motive and intent. And, you know, there's the argument too that whether it's ideological or professed psychological, they're really the same person.
Right.
So I can't let you go without you answering this question. If you don't beg for your life, what do you tell people to do? You
run, hide, and fight. You take whatever opportunity you have to escape, fight, kill the person who's there. You have no choice. You have to act. And of course, the difficulty with this is the normal human reaction to hostile gunfire is to freeze solid. We have that in us because it's physiologically overwhelming. And contemporary teaching is just to give ourselves a pathway to act the best we can. And even in those circumstances, we may not have an opportunity.
Run, hide, or fight. Great insight, as always. Thank you, Bernard Zapor.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.